Hello, everyone. Ron here from RJJ's Reactions. I hope you're doing well today. I am going to listen to what is probably going to be a very tough and emotional song from Ren. It's called Freckled Angels. And from the thumbnail, not from the thumbnail, from the very beginning when I clicked on it to pop up and get ready for this, I can see that it's dedicated to his friend, I believe, that he lost. And I learned that from How to Be Me. There were comments and people letting me know that he lost a friend to suicide, I think, and his name was Joe. And so this song is dedicated to him. I'm guessing it's going to be emotional and challenging. So if you're not ready for it, maybe come back later. But if you are, let's have a listen to Ren. I will, as always, put links below to Ren's GoFundMe page and his channel as well. So you can go to his site, subscribe there, check out the videos there, help him with his algorithm, although I think he's doing really well right now. He's sort of blowing up with the High Ren video and the newest one that I've already done a reaction to, Illest of Our Time. But nevertheless, he needs all the support he can. And if you don't mind, subscribe to my channel too. I am trying to grow the channel and make it something that I can continue. I work full-time, of course, in my tutoring business, but I would love to make the channel something that can help as well, and help me, help you, help as many people as possible. All right, let's get started with Freckled Angels from Ren. Are you ready for this? I'm not sure I am, to be honest. I'm looking forward to it, but with some trepidation, because I know with Ren's amazing voice and talent and the thoughts of this, I'm already emotional. The thoughts of this, I know what it's like to lose a friend in that way. And yeah, wow. Is this actually a picture of Joe Hughes or not? You see the freckles, dedicated to Joe Hughes. I'm guessing that is possibly a picture of him. Terrible loss. All right, let's have a listen to Ren instead of me. And I'll look at the lyrics after, of course.
This next song is probably one of the most important songs that I've ever written, I feel. It's dedicated to a friend of mine who passed away about 8 months ago, called Joe Hughes. So everyone remember that name because he's an absolute legend. And it's called Freckled Angels, and it goes like this.
Okay, right off the top, before he even gets into it, you're probably screaming at me right now, but you can just see how anxious, nervous he is, and I know that he has a lot of energy anyway. So trying to rein that in emotionally and sort of psychologically, so he can do the song, is very evident. I'm just going to start that over again, and then we'll listen through. It's a live performance.
This next song is probably one of the most important songs that I've ever written, I feel. It's dedicated to a friend of mine who passed away about 8 months ago, called Joe Hughes. So everyone remember that name because he's an absolute legend. And it's called Freckled Angels, and it goes like this. Could I have just a day where I'd get to see your face? I would laugh, you would skate, hanging out by the pier cave, chasing dreams, freckled face, no inhibitions, aces mates. Tell me everything's okay, you never meant to go away. And I need something to hold on to. And I wish I could hold on to you, 'cause I will never ever forget you. But I know you'll be soaring through, because Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. For their friends, they are the fondest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Could I have just a sec? Pull me up out of this wreck. Crack a joke, intense your pecs, huh? Act a fool, but with excellence. And every time I laugh, it reminds me of you. The funniest guy I ever knew. I've got so much left to say. Hope I can tell you all someday. I need something to hold on to. I wish I could hold on to you. 'Cause I will never ever forget you. But I know you'll be soaring through. Because freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. And with their wings, they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their hearts, they are the strongest. And all their friends, they are the funniest, so I know you're gonna be okay. And I hope you can hear me singing to you, 'cause if so, I'll sing until my voice shatters and my lungs, they explode. I'll sing over a crowded room so they all know how much I really miss you, Joe. Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels are the fondest, and their minds, they are the strongest. All their friends, they are the fondest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
Wow. Yes, applaud, applaud. Yeah, very, very well done. I think I'm not positive whether it's just because this was 11 years ago, he was much younger, and but his voice has developed a lot. But it might also be that it was such an emotional thing for him to sing that I'm not saying that it was bad. I think it was excellent, but there were some. You could notice that the voice was not what it is today, let's say. So I think he has improved over time, and or maybe this was just so emotional that it was choking him up a little bit, and but that makes it all the better in some ways, and he did manage to cheer me up a few times there, but I'm holding on, partly because there's some optimism in the song as well. So we're going to look at the lyrics next, but excellent performance by Ren, um, for sure. So I'll talk a little bit more when we look at the lyrics. Let's do that now. All right, I took a moment so I could clear my eyes so I could actually see the lyrics because got a little emotional listening to Freckled Angels. I'm so impressed with Ren. He makes me emotional a lot, even with some of his happier songs, partly because he's just so damn good. Also, many of his songs that we've listened to have been emotional and are intended to pluck at those emotional strings or chords, if you like. But what I like about this song, there's a number of things. There's a lot of things I like about this song. First of all, it said it was 11 years ago that he posted this, so that makes him about 21 or 22. So he's very young, and to have been able to uh, write a song like this and then perform it, um, and yes, there's deep feelings and emotion and grief, and he's feeling that grief and expressing it, but he's also expressing optimism and a way through, a path through, or onward for those that are still here. And that's important. It's important to recognize that we all need to find that way. So at such a young age to be able to do that and to perform the song in front of a live audience as well. Was it a perfect performance? No, I would say not, but I loved it because of that even more maybe. And that's why I love live performances often, because you get to see the real person, you get to hear the real person, and the depth of their emotion, whether that's a happy song, a sad song, or something in between. And so I really, really love this performance. I don't know if there's a studio version. Maybe there is, and it's probably incredible. But to be honest, I really love this one. So, and then of course his singing voice, it's very good. I think it's improved over time, but it's exceptional. And I love the guitar as well. Again, I think he's probably in 11 years, he's improved a lot over time, but still, it suited the song, and it was great. And it was a small venue, so yeah, really nice. I think I'm missing things I wanted to say, but I might think of them as we go through the lyrics. But let's look at this so it's not an hour-long video. Could I have just a day where I'd get to see your face? I would laugh and you would skate, hanging out by the pier cave, chasing dreams, freckled face, no inhibitions. That's mates. That might be a mistake in the lyrics. I just took these from somewhere else. Tell me everything's okay. You never meant to go away. Okay, so I'm just controlling myself here because I could just fall apart. But uh, he's remembering the times they had when Joe would be skating, they'd be hanging out at the pier cave. Remembers his freckled face. If that was a picture of him, he's pretty clearly got some freckles going on there, which is something you will remember, of course. No inhibition. So of course they were young. I don't know when they met, but he was probably about 21 when he did this song. What was it? 8 months ago, he said he lost his friend. So early 20s. So yeah, when you're a teenager in early 20s, you don't have a lot of inhibitions. You're not going to die at that point, right? But then, of course, Joe did, and he took his own life. So, and you never meant to go away. Maybe you didn't mean that. That's what he's wishing. And I need something to hold on to, and I wish I could hold on to you, because I will never ever forget you, and bet I know you'll be soaring through. Because so yeah, of course you don't forget such good friends and emotional ties to people. Um, that's the toughest part. The toughest part is for those left behind that are that need to struggle with that. But the person who's left obviously had struggles as well. So I never take away from that. Some people do, but I don't. I understand that. Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts they are the largest. So yeah, I don't. I mean, this was his friend, so um, he's remembering how hard this young man laughed. And what a wonderful heart he had. With their wings, they fly the farthest, so I know you're going to be okay. So you could go into the soul and the spirits and all of this, and but I think this is more of a catharsis for Ren to feel better about his friend, and that he's free, he's flying high, however you want to take that. Um, and the freckled angels live the longest, and their minds they are the strongest. So live the longest. So maybe not in corporeal form. He's no longer here on earth, uh, but he's with his friends and his family and others. And if he was this person with a great laugh and big heart, then there will be a lot of that left to continue to live on. So and their minds they are the strongest, all their friends they are the fondest. There you go, friends. So I know you're gonna be okay. So there's a mistaken idea that someone who takes his or her own life is weak somehow, and I don't think that's true. I think that they can be very strong people, but you can have a moment, and it only takes a moment sometimes. um, So it's not a weakness, and emotion's not a weakness either. Um, it's a strength, and it's a strength if you can work through it too. So I'm glad Ren has worked through it. And although he still remembers him, he did that later song where he still acknowledges it. Um, he's finding his own way as well. It always stays with you, it always will. But again, it's one of those things where you take that tool and you figure out how to work with it for yourself, or you don't. But hopefully you do, because you're better off for it if you can. Although at the time, it seems impossible. It just doesn't seem possible that you could ever see anything good about that. Um, Could I have just a sec? Please pull me out of this wreck. Yeah. Crack a joke and tense your pecs. Act the fool, but with excellence. Of course, we remember the silly things people did, even sometimes the annoying things people did once they're gone are the things that you remember. And I think that is so important. It's important to remember that people are people and we all have flaws and faults and things that annoy others. And I have plenty that annoy others, I'm sure. But um, but those are often the things that you remember and laugh about later. This imperfect person was the one you loved. That's the one you really loved. Not an angel necessarily, not a, something up on a pedestal. You loved that person with all of his or her flaws and problems and annoying habits and things. That's the one you remember, and that's the one you love. I like that. I don't like when someone or when people try to put someone up on a pedestal and make them out to be something they weren't in life. That's not the person you even loved. Like, why are you doing that? Let's remember some of the other pieces as well. And every time I laugh, it reminds me of you, the funniest guy I ever knew. I've got so much left to say. Hope I can tell you all someday. Yeah, too much to put into one song for sure. And every time he laughs, it reminds him of his friend because his friend had such a great sense of humor. That can be bittersweet, let me tell you, because sometimes when you're most enjoying something, suddenly this wave of grief hits you because you recall the people you've lost who are no longer here to enjoy it. So it can be both wonderful and painful at the same time. And I need something to hold on to. Okay, so and I wish I could hold on to you, of course, the real thing. Um, I'm just going down because some of these we've already covered. Their wings, they fly the farthest. Yeah, very good. Hmm. I hope you can hear me singing to you, because if so, I'll sing until my voice shatters and my lungs they explode. I'll sing over a crowded room so they all know how much I really miss you. Miss you, Joe. Mm. Okay, I'm trying not to fall apart so I can continue to see these lyrics and talk. Very touching, just incredibly touching to know that this is a real person he's speaking to, singing to, and how much pain he must have been going through at such a young age, at any age, but particularly when you're very young and you feel that your life and your friends' lives are going to go on forever. You can't be touched, kind of. You have that feeling when you're young, um, and then it happens, and it's such a shock, especially when it's such a young person in such a way. So yeah. Okay, and then we have covered the rest of the lyrics as before. Absolutely amazing song. The lyrics are great. The emotion before he started singing was great. The live version was great. The room was relatively quiet, partly because it was small, but also out of respect for Ren, which I love. I love it when audiences are paying attention. I've walked out of places when they weren't paying attention to the music because I couldn't hear the music, and to be honest, it just pissed me off, so I left. But uh, not with Ren. I've never been able to see Ren live, but other musicians. Because when I go and want to see someone live, I actually do want to hear the band or the singer, particularly when they're singing such an emotional, personal type song. I'm going to leave it there. There's a lot more we could get into, but maybe for another time. But for now, I think we've covered it. It's just incredible what Ren can do now and what he could do 11 so years ago when he was sort of starting out, I guess. But probably if you're watching, you know Ren and you already know that. But if you're new to Ren, wow, watch my other Ren videos, but then go to Ren's channel and watch them there too. I haven't. covered them all. There's a lot of videos there. I'm dying to see them and listen to them, but I'm waiting so I can react to each one for the first time. Um, so yeah, we will continue with Ren for sure. If you have other artists that you would like me to react to, let me know. I have a few requests coming in, and that's great. And I love listening to either people I haven't heard before or haven't heard from in a long time. And we can go back to the older musicians and older songs, or we can catch up with all the new musicians and new songs too. So just let me know. It's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It's growing nicely. And otherwise, just keep listening and keep having fun. And try to stay out of your anxiety and depression by finding that hope that Ren sort of finds in this song. He's looking at remembering his friend in the fondest way and recognizing that he continues to exist, at least throughout his other friends and family. So try that, and I hope it works for you. Bye bye for now.